About the components. In Angular, a component will have three parts: a selector, you can choose any selector, a template URL, HTML file, and CSS file. You can also do inline styling with CSS. This is the title. Here you will define the properties of component. I'm using this component inside the index.html. Here is our app. Let's say I would like to create the component to say that app should capcase, so I gotta do that. Let's say fundamentals. You can do anything here. I'm gonna fun app. It should be prefixed with app. App, the name of our fundamental, name of our application. Fun, app fun. So we have to replace it here, app fun. Still, you will get the hello world, but I'm gonna rename it to approot because it looks good. It's a good name, approot, which is our root component. Approot. When you open the app module, when you generate a new component with Angular CLI, it will add declaration automatically inside the app component. And this bootstrap, you will place your entry component into the bootstrap. So app component, first of all, it will load the app component. Now it's time to generate a new component. I'm gonna open another terminal, ng generate, G for generate component, new app, new component. You can use any name here. The name of our component. So you will see a new component folder inside the app folder. And remember that I told you, when you generate a new component with Angular CLI will add a new component into the declarations array. In this way, Angular can understand that we have a new component because it has registered to the declarations array. This is our root entry component. So inside the new component folder, you will see these files. This is our TypeScript files or test file, new component /component.ts. It will also add a component keyword at the end of each component. Here is our new component works. This is the CSS file. So how can you use that component? When you will see the hello world. So I would like to use that component in our app component. You just need to call a selector here. So I'm gonna say that app new component. So when you open the new component, this is the selector. Where is this? This one is a selector. So we gotta use this selector here into the app component. I use the same selector. Our application is running. Now you can see that new component works. So this is how the components works. You can also add CSS styling. I'll teach you more about that. You can also add styling here. Let's say that inside the new component app, new component.html, let's say that style, or you can say that text align equal to center. Now you will see the text into the center. In this way you can add CSS. Let's learn more about. You can also add properties on the new component. Let's play around it. Title is equals to new. So you can use the property in the based on property binding. This is how you would do that. New component works. New component, we have the title property here. Why I cannot do that here? New component works. Title, but it did not display anything. New component title is let's wrap everything inside the div. Aha, here is an issue here. I added as a type. The type is string and the value should be new. All I need to pass the value. Now you can see that title is new. You can also add styling in the CSS file. So I'm gonna put the style new component dot CSS here. Now you can see that it has added the styling on the new component. So that's all the basics of component. You can also add more components. You can divide your application into components. Let's say if we have a Facebook application, you can divide your application into the components. Let me add a to-do docs here. You can also think in the form of components. I'm going to say that docs.md. So let's say we have a Facebook app. You can divide application into components. Let's say first of all, you can say the feed is our parent component, and inside the feed we can display post list of post. You can display friend list on the right side. You can display groups on the left side. You can display a lot of like pages on the left hand side. So these could be components. So inside the post list you can also further add a components. Let's say a post. You can also friend list. Inside the friend list you can also add a friend component, friend view components. Inside the groups you can add a group component, and the pages you can add the pages. So you can divide your application into components very easily. That's why they structure the application into form of components.